السلام ومنك السلام تبارك وتعالى سمعنا وأطعنا وفهمك اللهم إني على ذكرك وشكرك اللهم إنا اغفر لنا Brother Hani. Today's khatir inshallah with Brother Hani. Yeah, just a quick announcement by Brother me about regarding the bags that we are collecting for inshallah purpose of receiving some money in exchange. The goal is to collect 800 bags. You can bring your bags this side of the masjid and maybe here on both ends. And like I said, the goal is to collect 800 bags, clear plastic or the white plastic, no dark trash bags. Nothing dark, of course. And in exchange, we will receive more than $10,000 for that. And masjid will get a percentage. Rest of the money will go for the people of Gaza, inshallah ta'ala. The pickup time is Saturday 22nd by 10 a.m. That's the pickup time. So make sure, inshallah, you bring your bags ASAP, anytime. When you come to Fajr, when you come to Isha. Jazakumullah khairan. Khatira with Dr. Hani, inshallah.
Barakallah fi jazakallah khair. Allah yahfadhak. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraf al-khalq wal mursaleen. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. So I'm going to talk about the Siyam, which is, we know what the Siyam is about, really, the straight path to Jannah, inshallah, one of the ibadat that Allah give us. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But Allah says, وَعَلَّمَ الْإِنسَانَ مَا لَمْ يَعْلَمْ. And it says, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. So we can learn a lot, and Allah will give us the knowledge, as He promised in the Quran. It's up to Him. What time? He decides the time. So Allah created us from the body, which is coming from the mud. We would say the dirt. This is the body, and that inserted the soul, الروح. وَالروح مِنْ عِلْمِ رَبِّي إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. So, and Allah has to sustain both. And every ibadah that we have has sustenance for both of those, the body and the life here. So you can make the ibadah. This is the purpose, made it in the right way. And the sustenance for the soul, so you stick on the right path here, and inshallah get awarded later. So in Siyam, Allah says in the two ayahs in Surah Al-Baqarah, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So the element of taqwa. What is taqwa? And the second ayah, he says, وَأَن تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. So if you fast, there's a good for you. And taqwa and good, this should be sustenance for the body and the soul here, and the soul there. Because when we die, the body goes down to the dirt. The soul goes to Allah wa ilmuha 'inda Rabbi. And this is true for mu'min and kafir. The body goes in the dirt for both, but the soul goes to Allah. The mu'min, we know where it's promised to go, and the kafir, we know where it has promised to go. But what is the sustenance of taqwa in Siyam and sustenance of khair that Allah gave us in Siyam as well? So taqwa for the Muslim in this earth and later is like, think of it, alarming system. That whenever you're in a situation that you may commit a sin or engage in something that leads to sin, immediately your heart as a Muslim tells you, you're not comfortable with the situation. You get out of it or avoid it, not to go to it. This is the taqwa. It's the alarming system. We use it to prevent something bad from happening. This is the taqwa for mu'min, taqwa ruh. And also here, to support you, to support your body. That's essentially you stay in the path. And the khair comes after that, by not committing sin and ending up, inshallah, in Jannah. So as-siyam have both of them also for the body. So when we eat, and this is building in what Brother Qutayba said, but going a little more beyond the systemic understanding of the Psalm. No doubt about it, scientifically, that Psalm is good for you, for your mind. It decreases the risk for dementia, cancer, cardiovascular, metabolic syndrome. And listed. It's amazing. The only regimen that we can use in mammals that improve life and extend lifespan too. In humans, still we don't know, because we're human, we vary a lot. In the way we eat, we don't adhere to the rules of eating, not eating. But there's a good sign that cutting in calories, which is fasting, improve your life. Now, for Muslim to have a healthy body here, obviously that's clearly it's good for him, for their family, for their Muslim community, because they can serve the Muslim community, and they can do ibadah the way it should be. You can come to Salah Fajr, no problems, nothing blocks you from that. You can make the siyam, you can work, you can give zakah. So all this essentially support the good and healthy body. But how really at the cell level, the molecular level, how this is happening? And Allah says وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. And that's amazing, fascinating. Slowly, gradually, Allah gives us more and more information. And every stage, and this is the rule in science, whenever we say, we understood this, not much more to understand, we will be surprised there's much more to understand. And I can bring tons of examples for that. I bring this to my students just to tell them how much science is important and not disconnect from the faith. Because this is what Allah promised us. This is the ayah. It's clear there. So when you fast, you lower, first things, obviously, you lower the glucose in your blood. And what this does in your body, in your muscles, there's components in the muscle itself. Whenever the glucose goes low, this thing ready, dormant in your cells, immediately goes up to the surface of the cell, okay, to bring more glucose. And this is lower more glucose, essentially protects you from developing type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, which has come with blood pressure, obesity, and all these things that risk for cardiovascular problems. So this is the first stage of defense, where Siyam essentially preparing your cells to protect itself and rejuvenate itself. The second tier of defense that happens, so every cell has a system, Allah created with system to protect itself. You'd be amazed. It's like community. We are here, exactly inside the cell. It's a community too. So there's a system that whenever there's something risk or stress coming, there's cues that sends the cell there's something coming. That system is activated. But here in fasting is activated without having risk, which means like the taqwa, it's always alert. So this system will keep the cell always alert and activate a set of factors, proteins, that rejuvenate mitochondria, repair DNA. So we damage our DNA on a daily basis. This system repairs it constantly, so reduce the risk of cancer. And aging, reduce the risk of aging. We call this, we know it, we call it keep one in RF2. So create 300 genes, over 300 genes that meant to repair and fix what has been damaged. And also remove things that have been accumulating over the year from the body, recycle them. And use them, reuse them to build the body, or if they are not usable, just get rid of them. And in addition to that, activate something, we call it AMPK. And this is really very important because decrease your, convert all your metabolism from storing fat to burning fat. And increase all the factors that rejuvenate again, organelles inside the cell. It's like replacing your cells gradually through fasting, few calorie restriction, to stay always in the health state. With that comes the extension of lifespan and healthy lifespan. This is the most important. It's not the lifespan itself to be extended. It's a healthy lifespan. You will live as much Allah wants you to live in the body that He gave you. But how you live in that, how much you use or abuse your body, it's up to you. And here's the Siyam will come and every year. And if you fast every Monday and Thursday, that's even better. And we know actually in our Muslims community, those who are affluent and not stressed, no war, no pressure, no oppression, they're pretty much healthy, mashallah. You see them in their 70s and 80s coming to the Fajr like any one of us. And so this is the really fascinating that essentially all going down we understand today. And hopefully we use this knowledge to sustain and maintain us on the right path and understand why we do the ibadah, that's what we do. I remember when I was a kid and later actually not far away, the claim, which is absolutely false, that there is no any benefit of fasting. It's just spiritual. It's a spiritual. And we fast for going to Jannah, for the taqwa. That's what we do, it is the intention. But Allah's mercy and khair always am, general. Some we know, some we don't know. Every ibadah Allah gave us, from shahada to arkan, has benefits for us here and for later. If we don't know it, we don't know it. Because Allah says, وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. When He wants, we know. We never knew these things. Sahaba fasted and Badr, and they kept fasting without knowing why they're fasting. Because Allah asked them to fast. Spirituality. For people like us, we didn't see the Prophet, we didn't see the Sahaba, we didn't see the miracles, and still we are on the path. And we have to find, and Allah give us gradually these signals that I'm here, I created you, وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. So you learn about me from within your body if you understand it. وَمَا يَخْشَى إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءُ. So this knowledge can put you in the right path and adhere to being good Muslim mu'min. And some, unfortunately, may use it totally the other way, to tell you we are purely created from nature by accident to the nature. And trust me in this one, no one knows better than me. No way accident will create the sophistication and the complexity and delicacy of how our body works. It's amazing. And I do it every day, I see it every day, I teach it every day. And I know if there's some students here, medical school, who probably know what I'm talking about. So, Zubair. And what is the other one? Yeah, down here. I shake hands with them all the time. This is it. So, I mean, if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer. But subhanAllah, just know these things for the sake of just make us more here and pass it on to others and understand why we're fasting. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallah khair. Has to be balanced. Eating a lot, if you fast and eat a lot after fasting, when you fast, that's beyond what your body needs, but beyond the signals that Allah gave your body to tell you stop eating, that's transgress. You shouldn't. Sport is good. You do sport too. Sport does some of the things I described too. Suhoor. Yeah, suhoor is you need to eat suhoor, but still you don't need to exaggerate it. Nothing exaggerated in Islam. It's just by the balance. Whenever your body tells you stop, you stop. Pushing it to sustain yourself more, thinking if you push your stomach more and stuff it with food, it's going to make you last until iftar. First of all, it's health-wise is wrong. The straightforward, simple things that we realize it. And also ibadah is not, I think, Allahu A'lam, I'm not faqih or scholar for ulum ad-din. I mean, you have to try and feel the hunger. This is building resilience. This is where taqwa comes. This is where you feel others. So it doesn't hurt to feel a little stressed. Cutting in the food make you hungry. There's a difference between fasting and starving. Draw the line there. 12 hours, 15 hours fasting, the way we do, that's not starving, that's health. Starving starts really when it goes beyond 24 hours. You get to the point that your body start now run out of glucose, sugar, run out of available, not yet keeps the fat. The body keeps the fat for the last minute. Because needed. This is Allah created the fat for us to sustain us for a long time. But the problem when you get degrade or get rid of your muscles, start your muscles to sustain your energy. And the sticky point for the body is really not the muscles per se. This is why when during starvation, the body sacrifices the muscles to sustain two things: red blood cells and brain. Because brain loves glucose, although can use fat, but it's a secondary. But whenever glucose goes low, that barely can sustain red blood cells because you need red blood cells to breathe. Then the brain start using fat. And it's not bad, actually. For dementia patients, we know there's some aspects, although we don't understand it fully, that relying on certain type of fats helps improve their cognition. But that's not really proved. This is anecdotal in the sense observations here and there, and sometimes you feel it by yourself. So the milk likes fat and milk help you for the brain. But these are the rules. You need to avoid being starved for 24 hours not eating and beyond. Because this is why also Prophet ﷺ prohibited us from fasting 2 days in a row. Because you start degrading and removing your muscles. And this is not intended from Allah. It's loaded with sugar. So you put so much huge, it's a 50 gram of sugar in each can of soya. And this goes immediately to your circulation. Insulin goes skyrocketing. And insulin, to protect your brain, essentially puts you to sleep. Because that sugar is essentially damaging to the brain. Brain is amazing how much is protected. to be maintained. Remember, probably you don't know that. Every cell in our body will be replaced. And this is the regeneration we talk about, or through the year. Depends in the cell type. Brain cells those are we born with. We are living with them right now. 60, 70, 80, they stay with you. And Allah created this system, subhanAllah, to maintain them. So for 70 years, they're not changed, not replaced. If you lose a neuron, you lose it, it's gone. If you lose a muscle, you lose a cell in the liver, you lose a cell somewhere else, you can replace it. I don't know about that, but whatever you feel you're comfortable. Allah created this system inside you to tell you this is good and I feel good about it. I mean, with the reasonable and logic of a mu'min. Because taking drugs makes you feel good, but destroys you later. So if you feel drinking warm water in iftar, I don't think shar'an there's something prevents this from doing that. So do what Allah guided to you. Each of us guided somehow by Allah. But as long as you maintain and sustain the rule not to exceed to the borders or beyond the gray zones, will start to be haram or excessive abuse of your body, let's try to stay out of it, find something else. If you drink soda and iftar, definitely. With no insulin, very low insulin, within 30 minutes less, insulin goes up, skyrocketing. And you have all these fallouts of that. And this insulin essentially is going to take all this glucose to get rid of it. When you go to your physician, I mean, they measure something for you called A1C, hemoglobin A1C. So what is this? And let me tell you a little more. So sugar that we eat exists in two forms in our body. The majority is a circular. It's a ring. Small fraction of it, it's open. It's the chemistry. Allah created this way. This open one is active. So what it does, when you have a lot of, for a long time, and a lot of sugar in your body, you have more of the open form. This open form is active, so it sticks to proteins. Like hemoglobin, we use it as a proxy. But this sticks to proteins in everywhere, in the brain, in the heart, in the kidney. And this attachment to the protein is not natural, so it damages the protein. It's not functioning very well. And then the cell had to get rid of it. But the proteins live for days, others live for weeks, others live for minutes. So this really compromises all this complexity that comes with diabetes. This is part of it. All sometimes so aggressive and sustained for a long time goes to amputations and neuropathies, and essentially peripheral neuropathies. Essentially, you don't feel anything in limbs and toes and get infections and have to be removed. So having this high amount of glucose constant in your body and exhausting the capacity of pancreas to produce insulin, end up with type 2 diabetes, essentially, which means sustained high level of glucose above normal, which is about 5 millimolars. And for a long time, you have more of the open form of sugar running through your blood, going through your fluids, deep into the tissues, not only the blood. And this, more of it will be generated and stick to proteins. And that's damage their functions. So you need to avoid this. You need just keep dynamic. Always move, do exercise, fast, Monday, Thursday, and eat in a reasonable way. Feel and listen to your body. This is the statement. Prophet Muhammad said, and correct me in the hadith, bima ma'na, 3 things you have when you eat. Keep third for the soul, third for the food, third for the water. This is the balance. So in training, you train yourself. You can't train yourself to do anything. Your brain, subhanAllah, we understand every organ in our body. I can spend hours talking about each one of them. The brain, we still don't understand very little about it. And has a capacity to sustain us, subhanAllah, created in a way that constantly keep learning, monitoring you without you knowing that it does that. So listen to what it does, what it's telling you. Don't override the feeling that gets in your heart. That's too much, so stop eating now. And your body will take care of that. Train yourself, train it to be resilient. This is part of the resilience. Jazakumullah khair. Here is translated. He said, Prophet Muhammad, this hadith too, yeah? This hadith. But the hadith about third, they divide your stomach to 3/3, soul, which means you stay relaxed, and third for food, and third for water. Not diaphragm, not to brush it, yeah. Dr. Shamil. Gradually.
Then you eat, because now your body, when you start to eat your meal, keep eating before your satiety centers in your brain tells you to slow down. So if you eat a little bit, you go and pray, you're not as hungry for dinner, your fasting meal, you don't eat as much. So like I said, third, listen to your body with the sunnah ways.
Jazakallah khair. Absolutely true. So, to recap. Taqwa for the soul, this is the most important thing. For Siyam, give you taqwa, resilience, all these things we learn, spirituality, inshallah, will take us straight path to Jannah. And for the body here, it's also, this is the alarming system to take you to Jannah, to avoid sins, to avoid the new. And for your body, to keep it healthy, so you can do more ibadat, extend, live longer, healthy life, so you can go to Hajj. This gathering in the morning, it's the most beautiful thing that happens in any community. In my opinion, the most best friendship that you create in your life, wherever you go, is the morning friends that you have. The Sahaba with you in the morning. Although we don't know each other very well, but definitely wherever we see each other, it's just like we are brothers. We know each other for years. So this is really the things that maintain. That's Salat al-Isha too. And those are two important for us. This is one example that you have to have you stay healthy, and Siyam will help you do that. Salat al-Fajr, Salat al-Itmatayn, Salat al-Fajr and Salat al-Isha, those are really the declaration for the faith and sincerity. And inshallah also the ticket for straightforward track to Jannah. مغفرة رضوان الله. جزاكم الله خيرا. بارك الله فيكم.